so Stevie Boy said, can't go through another contract situation with Ibu, can't renew, sell him. We have to, and I guess you've led me nicely into one of the topics that I want to talk about tonight. But before I do, I just want to read this one out from Brock's Only Slot. La 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 la. Only Slot. La 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 la. Mate, I can't wait to be singing that over in Liverpool with everybody next month. Right, so to kind of piggyback off Stevie Boy's thoughts about the situation with Ibrahim Konate, Football Insider, and those of you who watched the early video will know where I'm going with this. Football Insider said Liverpool are planning talks to determine the futures of Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, and Ibrahim Konate as they head into the summer transfer window. Look, nobody wants to sell Konate. I think I can speak for everybody when I say this is only down to his contract situation. Nobody wants him to go on. But as Stevie Boy said, if Liverpool can find a resolution, the only logical option then is to sell, because you don't want to be losing them for free. You don't want to go through another season with the whole will he, won't he contract saga. So I hope Liverpool sort it out quickly, and I hope that we get it sorted so he stays. But if he doesn't, well then I guess we're going to have to look to sell. The Luis Diaz one is really interesting because the links once again are there to Diaz with moves away, and they haven't gone away. But he's been speaking a little bit, and this is what he's had to say speaking to TNT Sports. It's an honour to hear Liverpool fans sing for me at such a historic club. I've always worked for this. We'll keep pushing to make the fans proud and keep cheering for the team. Since I was a kid, I dreamed of winning titles with Liverpool, especially the Premier League, and we're close. I mean, that's lovely to hear from a player who has stepped up at the business end of the season and started doing really well. Again, I don't know why these links of moves away keep coming up, but they aren't going away anytime soon, and he could very well be a target of clubs in the Saudi Pro League and, of course, in other areas. So, yeah, Lucho's future is an interesting one, but the one on Konate is the one that has me concerned, Stevie Boy, because, of course, we want him to stay. And again, you ask, how do the club let it get to this point? So, right, what do we think on the situation with Konate? Do you think he's going to leave? Do you think he's going to stay? And do you know what else it got me thinking? How much would he be worth if we had to sell him with just the 1 year left to go on his contract? Rob Wilson said, I'd say about 50 to 60 million for Ibu. It's a really difficult one because he's got 1 year to go, right? So that will somewhat diminish his value. What is he worth on the open market, let's say, with 3 years on his deal? Then I'd say you're probably at around that number. But right now, I would say 40 plus add-ons with a year to go would probably be a realistic number. Because remember, like I've said with the Trent, Mo and Virgil situation, the longer it goes on, the more the balance of power shifts to the player and their negotiations. So let's wait and see. Stevie Boy said, how does a club like Liverpool find itself in a situation with contracts? Is it poor management or players asking for more money? Really, really good talking point, Stevie Boy. I think some of it can be put down to the change of structure behind the scenes, but that also feels like a bit of a cop-out answer, right? And giving the club too much credit. The Konate one really does puzzle me because there's no age thing to consider. If you can't get Konate to tie himself down, you'll know by the conversations whether it's a money thing or whether it's a he has his eyes elsewhere. So I think that one should be fairly simple to at least figure out for the club what direction he wants to go in. And if it's a case that he wants to move, well then again, let's get that done early so we have enough time to find a replacement. I'd seen some people in the earlier video, because I do check the comments, and they were talking about Hoyson not being an upgrade on Kwanzaa. So why would Liverpool even consider selling Kwanzaa? Hoyson's not an upgrade. I very strongly disagree with that, by the way. From what I've seen of both, Kwanzaa looks far more filled out and yet still looks a little bit more clumsy than Hoyson for me, who hasn't yet fully filled out, even as a 19-year-old fella. So I still stand over what I said. I think there's a possibility this summer we lose 2 centre-backs. But if Konate stays, then I think we only lose 1. Let's speak about Dean Hoyson for a moment. So a piece here coming out of Spain, which is what made me sit up and take notice of this one, said Real Madrid are set to be rejected by Bournemouth defender Dean Hoyson as he wants to stay in the Premier League. Now look, we know Chelsea are going to be there. I think Arsenal are making a move for him as well. But I think we're the best fit, and I think we could give him the best pathway through, and I very much hope that Liverpool do make a strong play. There's lots of talk. I think Romano and others saying he's going to take the next month or so to think things over, but it does look as if he wants to stay in the Premier League, which is good for the league, and of course a good statement that a young up and coming player like that wants to stay in the league.